Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, and out here we have our dashboard as always, and you'll notice that we have moved from neutral yesterday. We were around 54 if I'm not mistaken, and we got into the greed section. So last evening it was fantastic to watch how Palantir was moving up. I'll talk about it during our technical analysis of Palantir. Now, the company has reported great earnings and also great full year guidance. So everything seemed good, but still the stock price fell. Then another thing that is likely to hit part of the revenue of big banks is M&A deal signing, which has hit a 20-year low. But it will more or less get compensated, in my opinion, from the frenzied trading that is taking place right now. So any bank that has got M&A as well as trading desk combined, they will be much better off. But any bank that is just for merchant bank, just focusing on M&A activities, is likely to have a big hit when they report next. Now, the other headline out here is as Trump tariffs sink in, Canadian companies pivot from US to new markets. And Ford pulls guidance, warns it will take 1.5 billion hit from Trump's tariffs. Earlier, we had heard from GM. They were talking about, I think, approximately 2 to 2.5 billion hit. And Ford is having a 1.5 billion hit. And US dollar safe haven halo flickers amid fiscal and trade jitters. That's what the Reuters poll is saying. And finally, one of the things that we have to keep track of is what happens with this court case, because Google has appealed and the hearing is in September. So US seeks to break up Google's ad tech products after after judge finds illegal monopoly. And we have the month of July to go, August, and then in September, we have the hearing. So the 2 months in between, we are likely to lose track of it. So let us try to mark it somewhere in our calendar and remember to follow this up. Because if Google has to sell it, of course, Google is going to get a lot of money for that. That will be the positive. But at the same time, the synergies that are present and the advantages that Google has will be diluted. Next, we look at the 2-year to 10-year yield spread. It's again increasing. Yesterday it was 0.51 and today it is 0.53. This is a recession indicator. So we have very strong indication for recession going forward. Dollar index continues to spend one more day under $99. I've heard a whole lot about this Taiwan dollar getting stronger against the US dollar, the Taiwanese currency. And my thought process is that it kind of fits into a pattern of what US might want to have. You have a TSMC within US producing all the chips, and you also have TSMC in Taiwan producing the chips. And if the US dollar becomes weaker against the Taiwanese dollar, then imports from Taiwan for US from TSMC becomes more expensive. In fact, it will be much better to export from TSMC US to other parts of the world, and it will be cheaper for others to buy from TSMC US than from TSMC Taiwan. I guess the exchange would be that US might give security protection to Taiwan to protect it from China. But as we know, at this point of time, any agreement made with Trump is not worth the paper it is written on. The Federal Reserve has denied anything, and also the Central Bank of Taiwan says this is just rumor mongering. But you decide what you think it is and put it in the comment section so that I can get an idea of which way you guys are thinking about it. And of course, all the three futures, NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow futures are in the red as we hurtle towards the market opening. It is 7:49 a.m. right now. Oil price, even though the oil cartel had decided to produce more oil and oil price had gone down, it's up again a little bit at $1.21 gain. And a 10-year yield has gone up by 0.0004. So I think in the long term, the US dollar is going to be weaker, and 10-year yield is going to go much higher. And you also have to watch the 30-year yield. Now, today, I think the focus is going to be on the Fed Reserve's dialogue that's going to come up, or the meeting that they have regularly. Let me just line this up for you for tomorrow. So tomorrow at 2 p.m., we have the Fed interest rate decision and the Fed press conference. Those are the key area. I think even after this, most of the people are not expecting any rate cuts at this point of time from the Fed. They all know that the tariffs are going to create inflation, and that inflation will be later on followed with a potential recession. So Fed may want to keep their powder dry. But when the press conference happens and the Fed rate decision happens, I'm expecting a torrent of Trump tweets asking for the rate to be brought down with some fancy nickname for Chairman Powell. That might probably push the dollar down. It might push the yields up. That's what might happen, in my opinion, if that takes place. And then on Thursday, you have initial jobless claims, non-farm productivity, all those data. So it's layer upon layer of potential catalyst, positive and negative. And now I would like to go to the futures and start off from there. And as you can see in the futures, we have had some weakness, and we have come back below the line of support, which was helping us stay above. And this line of resistance was a very important resistance, in my opinion. And when we went up, I thought that we are going to go bullish totally. Even now, the verdict is still going nowhere, because we have to see how the market progresses. But overall economic condition and geopolitical situation lends itself for a move downwards rather than upwards. We'll see what happens when the market opens. But right now, you can see MACD is moving towards the signal line in a bearish manner. And we also have the RSI, which is tending to go a little bit weaker. The relative strength index is cooling off a little bit, and it's not moving in the right direction for us. So we would expect that for today, the resistance will be 5640.75, and the support is going to be 5530.00. And 5530 is a minor line of support. So if things don't get held up at that level, then we are going to go all the way to 5504.50. That's all I'm expecting for today for S&P 500 futures. And for NASDAQ futures, again, you see a similar move. the thing about both S&P 500 as well as NASDAQ is that the red candles have still not gone below the range of Friday. So until they go below that, I think we are still a little bit bullish. Likewise is the case with the NASDAQ as well. Again, MACD is weakening. Momentum is also dropping. RSI is going weak. So not moving in the right direction. That's my opinion. And a lot of consolidation is happening out here. Are we going to form a bull channel out here? I don't know. Is it possible that dollar is trying to form a bull channel, creating higher highs and higher lows? We don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that we have broken out of this diagonal line of resistance out here. And this was kind of holding us for a while. And that's why I'm thinking that's a possibility we may fall a bullish channel. But looking at all the things that are happening in the US, I think that's a long shot. Let's go on to 10-year yield. 10-year yield, as I said, has a target of somewhere around 4.75. And right now, it's a bit down. It's down 0.006 as of recording. When I took the snapshot earlier to create my dashboard, it was up 0.004. So that's a bit of fluctuation out there. We'll get to know what happens during the end of the day. Now, I want to go to the actual indicators where I'm looking at S&P 500, and we are back again below the diagonal line of resistance. So for us today, the resistance is going to be 5676.28 for S&P 500. And the support is going to be at 5486.01. MACD is kind of moving towards the signal line to become bearish. Momentum is also dropping. So those combinations are not very good, but yet the bullish trend is still persisting because we have broken out of this diagonal line of resistance and we are creating higher highs and higher lows. So we'll watch this space and see what happens. Everybody, I think, is going to be range bound today because they are waiting for Fed chairman's meeting tomorrow. Then we have NASDAQ, which is down 0.67% as of Friday, and it continues to have a resistance at 20,337.18 and support at 19,857.53. That said, let's look at QQQ. QQQ is down 1.18% in pre-market trading. Therefore, the resistance for today is 484.50. Support for today is 468.84 for QQQ. And when we look at VIX, we can see that VIX is starting to move up again. It's up 5.54% in pre-market trading out here. And our resistance today is 28.54. I would be surprised if we were to go above that. Today is going to be more of a consolidation and calming day with moves up and down, whipsaw effect, but going nowhere. And that is because of the Fed speak tomorrow. Put call ratio is inching towards neutral. Gold is picking up sharply, and I think it has got a resistance at around 3426, at which point it may probably come down and test the support at 3195.67 and then move back up again. That is one possibility. But before that, if we have negative catalyst, then I think we're likely to be moving up. Then I would like to go and have a look at our AI stocks. I'm going to start off with NVDA. So when we look at NVIDIA, yesterday I did make some profits with NVIDIA. I had shorts in place earlier in the day, and that is profitable. I'm going to plan to sell that and later today when the market opens. And right now, what's happening is that our resistance is 113.77 for NVIDIA. And our support for today is going to be 109.50 for NVIDIA. MACD is pretty bullish. Momentum is where there is a problem. It needs to pick up still. And then we have Meta. Meta is up 0.38% as of Friday. But this morning in pre-market action, it has given up all those gains and gone down 1.26%. Our resistance for Meta is going to be at 629.28 and support is going to be 581.03. And we have a gap fill that has to happen. So chances are that we might break down below this support line and cover the gap and then try to move back up again. Next, let us look at Google. Google is down 1.11% in pre-market trade, and that makes 164.58 as the immediate resistance. I'm going to mark this as red. And the next resistance for Microsoft is 169.10, whereas the next support for it is going to be at 158.58. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average. It's just that Momentum is a little bit flat. It needs to pick up so for it to go up. Amazon is down 1.09% in pre-market trade after being down 1.91% yesterday. So at this point of time, our support at 184.05 continues to be the immediate support. After that, we have a support at 180.17, whereas we have a resistance at 191.54 for Amazon. MACD is tending towards the signal line, and momentum is also dropped below average. So both of that indicate further losses for Amazon. So the chances of it coming down below this horizontal line of support at 184.05 is very high. Next, we look at Apple. Apple was down 3.15% yesterday, and today pre-market it's down 0.58%. So yesterday it had ended up just below 199.11, which was our support. So that now becomes a resistance. And our next support is going to be 192.29. This is the range in which I'm expecting Apple to move. And Apple has a MACD, which is very close to the signal line, ready to turn to the bearish side. And momentum has also dropped. So Apple can experience further drops unless there is some catalytic news. Microsoft is down 0.86%. Yesterday, I bought some Microsoft shorts because there is a huge gap up out here and the overall environment is rife with possibility for negative catalyst. And that's why I bought it. And I am just about neutral in terms of gains on Microsoft shorts. But I'm hoping today that I would probably try to realize some gains on that and move out. And then we have Tesla. Tesla is down 1.66% in pre-market trades. It was down 2.42% yesterday during the day trade. 298.43 is our resistance, and our support is going to be 268.09. Oracle was down 0.96% yesterday, and it's down another 1.26% today. Our resistance is going to be 157, and our support is going to be 142.78 for Oracle. Next, let's go on to AMD. AMD is down 0.63% in pre-market trades, which is almost half of where it went yesterday. It was up 1.81% yesterday. The question is AMD buy the rumor, sell the news stock, and is it going to fall like Palantir did on the 6th of May after earnings results, which is today after earnings result? With Palantir and Microsoft, I was super confident that the prices will come down after earnings. But with AMD, I'm not that sure. So I'm going to stay on the sidelines and watch AMD. But my gut feel tells me that once we have the earnings, AMD is likely to drop. But I'm not feeling the kind of conviction that I need to put money into the shorts at this point of time. SMCI is down 1.21% in pre-market trade after dropping 4.57% yesterday. But still, the support is 30.99 and the resistance is going to be 34.75. Broadcom, it was down 1.43% yesterday, and today in the pre-market session, it's down 1.70%, and it's at 197.31. And therefore, I think the line out here at 198.20, which was a support earlier, now becomes a resistance. That's the immediate resistance for Broadcom. If it's not able to break through above that, it will need to do the gap fill out here. So I think it could potentially stop at 192.69, which could be a minor support. But if it breaks down below that, then we have 186.47, which is going to be the major support. So I'm just going to color this. I'm just going to take a line out here and draw this minor line of support for you guys so that you can remember. And this one is at, as I said earlier, 192.51. Next, let's go on to Palantir. Palantir was up significantly in the run-up to earnings, and it had gone up almost, if I'm not mistaken, 80%. Let us see. It had gone up 85%. And that's a huge jump. And this jump happened from 7th of April onwards until 5th of May. It's almost 30 days worth of trading, and 83% in 30 days is significant. So I shorted it, and the price right now is at 114.33 or something in that vicinity. So the support for today is going to be the minor line of support at 107.90. Resistance is going to be 124.53. SMH is the next one, semiconductor index, ETF, 0.65% is what it lost yesterday. And today, pre-market, it's lost 1.27%. And it has filled up the gap that was there, a very minor gap. Now, it has got support today at around 201.25, and resistance is at 219.81. Tempus AI is another stock that we look on a regular basis. And for Tempus, it has lost 2.35% this morning pre-market trading. And yesterday, it had dropped 5.24%, not doing that well at this point of time. But we have beautiful cup and handle pattern out here. I think the range for today is going to be on the top 56.49, and on the bottom, we are going to have 47.48. So that's the range in which I'm expecting Tempus to move. So friends, that's what I have for you. And yeah, I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video.